Ladies and gentlemen, the state of Alaska is falling apart. The pipeline's on fire. The port is dissolving. Meanwhile, welcome to the Gamenight podcast, After Hours. With me today, I have sound engineer and consumer of unusual fluids, John Mangrum.
Yeah.
Say hi to John. He's his first time on a podcast.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
my second time.
I legitimately don't think I've ever heard your last name.
On mic 2, we have Josh, but not the Josh you're used to who does the puns, the nerd Josh. Say hi, Josh.
This is Nerd Josh. I live in Alaska.
All right. We have Tim, who you're unfamiliar with. He's also a nerd.
Hey, I don't take offense to that.
All right.
It's all right. And everybody knows me. I'm your friendly neighborhood Dave over here on... I'm still on mic number 4. That's my favorite mic. I know, but I still...
These are numbered.
So it looks like we're... this is going to be the third podcast going up this week because Kyle forgot to give last week's to Raquel.
Danny.
Yeah, Kyle.
Danny. No,
Totally. Totally Kyle's fault. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, fuck Kyle.
How you doing?
It's actually...
it's Danny's fault. Blame Danny.
Oh, yeah, Dave.
Yeah, so it's actually more just people left for home and then never showed up this week. So there's a little bit of a backlog on our videos, but it's all right. You're going to hear about these, and they'll go up, and it'll be all right.
It won't be any different. I mean, you probably don't listen to them on time because we're all terrible.
It's like 3 o'clock.
Also, on the plus side, we finally figured out our goddamn technical difficulties. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. We got the audio to work right.
Yep, in every way. Last week was quite a bit better, but this week it seems to be going basically flawlessly.
Yeah,
so.
basically.
Flawless.
And
Like a
that's where
baby's
our
bottom.
computer
Probably 'cause I'm
explodes.
here.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, technical difficulties, by the way, the name of a much better podcast.
Don't listen to it, listen to us.
Anyway,
both of
we
us.
should jump straight into
All right.
our first topic.
And we're going to actually let Tim is our regional expert on this topic.
I'm actually got a PhD in this currently writing my thesis.
So how long have you been going to school for this particular topic?
Around 19 years.
PhD, of course, meaning...
for the record, Tim, can we get a record of how old you are?
Old enough.
Perfect. All right. So, what are your thoughts on painful anal?
Or panal?
Panal.
You should probably use some more lube.
Oh,
Is that your only
The studies are in.
The studies are
You're not using enough lube.
Okay, but what is your thesis on, Tim? What is this like 20,000 page or word paper that you're writing?
Why anal is painful when you use no lube.
Have you been in the field studying this self, like personally, like just getting in there, or have you been on the receiving end? Like, what are the steps?
It's a little mixed match, you know. Gotta go to some gay bars. Those are pretty good.
So, do you have any favorite gay bar?
there's that
No. They're all equally as amazing.
Oh, because you heard it here. All gay bars are equally amazing.
Shout out to you,
all
gay
of them.
community. We love you.
Yeah.
But just
Not in
most
the
of us
same way
not
you love
sexually.
us.
All right.
Well, I'm nowhere near the expert that Tim is in this field, but
God damn it.
You're right next to him. You're very near him.
But I just have to say that I'm gonna have to agree with him. You need to use more lube, and you probably need to communicate with your partner better. Or if she is the masochist, you just go all in and be like, I ain't using
Shove
lube.
that
You
shit
get
right
off
in.
it, and you just be like, "It's what you want." She'd be like, "Yeah," and you'd be like, like a
That
baby's arm.
sound that happens when you do it.
A little bit of blood lubes it right up.
Yeah. After the first couple pounds, the ground town, you're doing good.
Pounds to ground.
Oh.
Yes. These are technical
right.
terms that I figured you would.
Are you sure it's not Brown Town?
What is your personal opinion on panal? Looks like Gary was trying to interrupt James here.
I have one thing to say on this topic, and that is that harder is not a good safe word.
I cannot argue with that, but can Gary?
Ooh, that's great.
That was a very sensual word. For me.
Wow, Gary, you really want me to tell him that? All right, well,
Children
Gary just has a special. He just has a shout out to his biggest fans. He just wants to give a shout out to
The
all
zebras?
the big all the big booty bitches out there that go to Brown Town.
all one of them that listens to this podcast.
Oh no, all of them.
Everyone
all of
who
them.
listens to this.
Gary is a very popular man on the internet.
He actually is. He actually does not have a Tumblr, or well, he does, but you'll never find it. As well as Twitter, Facebook, and
His
Instagram.
fan fiction Tumblr, on the other
Snapchat,
hand.
yeah. He doesn't do that.
No.
shit.
Blown out of
Snapchat.
control.
Yeah,
But you will find his Snapchat. He doesn't have one, but you will find it.
You'll find
find
his
it,
Snapchat,
whether you want to
and
or
you'll
not.
also accidentally find his fan fiction, which is Tim was saying about, because he's actually number 1 on Tumblr for fan fictions right now.
Oh, he is. I missed that.
He does it under a pseudonym, which we won't disclose because we don't want to give away his real identity.
Josh, we haven't heard from you on the subject.
Yeah,
What is your opinion on panal?
I actually have a question for the panel expert, Tim.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
We've been saying that the problem is if you don't use lube, but what if I'm trying to impale myself on a fire hydrant and I have lots of lube? What do you think I should do?
Get a smaller fire hydrant.
Better than my answer. My answer was to not fire hydrants at all.
Hey, you can't.
Josh,
I can't bully people for their fetishes.
No, I'm not going to bully you for fetish, but honestly, like, has going all the way out with a fire hydrant been like a lifelong dream of yours, or is this something that once you started hanging out with Tim and reading all his thesis stuff, been helping him edit, that you kind of like, Tim's got this good idea, but I want to see if I can put this into practice on a much more like physical object?
No. Tim had
just saw
nothing to
some
do
dogs.
with it. It was all my father's idea.
Oh,
So,
does Panal run in your family?
should we take that as a declination to answer?
Well, I guess the blood runs.
In the family, huh?
That is almost a perfect segue for a later topic that we will be getting into.
So, John, do you
Just go
have,
straight to that topic.
any comments on this subject?
I actually have not been one to have experienced it yet, nor do I intend to
Receiving or giving?
either.
Are you sure?
Ass to ass.
Actually, I can bring it to Denny's earlier. I'm pretty sure I would rather do that than drink what I have now dubbed the carcass shake.
So just for those that weren't there, can you describe what the carcass shake was?
He actually helped. Chem and Josh helped concoct it, so I don't actually remember what's in it.
So let's
No, that was Aaron and Josh.
Oh well, all right, Josh.
Well, Josh, you're here. So what all was in the carcass concoction?
There was one part of whatever Tim's shake was. What was your
It's
shake?
Oreo. It's
Okay.
an
An
Oreo
Oreo
milkshake.
shake.
So it is
milkshake.
1 part Oreo milkshake, 1 part butter, 1 part sour cream, and a healthy dollop of ketchup. And then
Josh's
I
Other-
remember you put some salt and pepper in right before I took the.
other Josh had the bright idea of adding some salt, pepper, and some Splenda.
I almost put an egg in there.
And
what about the
right
jam?
Before we did it, we decided that we would do a ceremonial syrup shot. Dave, you had something to say?
No, I'm just gonna tell you to stop kicking the table.
Oh, I didn't realize.
But yes, no, we did do a ceremonial syrup shot, and I'll be honest, doing a shot of syrup, best decision of the night. If you're going to
It actually
Denny's,
was.
do
It
it.
helped to wash it down, but for those of you who will hopefully never try this, give us 1 second, James. It smelled vaguely, and by vaguely I mean very much like
death.
a rotting moose carcass, and tasted just about the same. And James, your comment.
I'd like to say video of this incident does exist.
And you will hopefully never see it.
It's going on
We're
the
gonna
YouTube
edit
channel.
it into this episode
It's
Oh,
going
right after
that's
this.
great.
If Raquel
All right.
is gonna, so cut right now, Raquel.
All right.
And
You've
we're
seen
back!
it. Now I should say I'd like some closing words on the subject of Panal from a resident expert. He has a PhD, but I should say PhD. That's not a doctorate. That's it's an acronym for phallic hydrophobic, which means it's impossible to get his dick wet.
Tim has something to say on this.
All right.
That P is for panal.
You really got to get these things right.
I'm a panal hydration expert.
That's not at all what I said.
Panal hurts.
I might have forgot the
What does the
acronym.
D stand for? Panal expert.
The expert.
Dexpert. Like, I got understand.
There we go.
There we go.
Dexpert. A Dixpert.
Perfect.
A Dixpert.
So,
Is that a
you heard
double
it here.
entendre?
I don't know.
Tim is in fact a dickspert.
So,
I'm
ladies,
not sure if that's a compliment.
so ladies, if you're looking to get your panal fix, or just someone that knows what they're doing, Tim Harrelson, Eagle River, Alaska.
Pretty sure that's not his last name exactly, but that is officially now his last name exactly. If it is-
As Tim thinks about whether that's actually his last name, he was like, I'm pretty.
All right. So, do we want to do our character development on James or our talks on the political elections first?
I think we should talk about James.
Oh,
let's
shucks.
have you lead this, John. You seem to know what we're doing here.
Well,
Actually, you're a part of this. This is all about you too.
this is actually my fair secret. But yeah, my fair secret is actually that I actually lost completely what we're talking about. Anyway,
You young people, you damn youngins in game night.
Yeah, I actually don't know
What's the
anything.
question?
We are developing who you are as a person. So far, all they know is that you are depressed.
You know what develops
I'm only
character?
impressed sometimes.
Panal.
Ah,
I actually have an appointment with a psychological professional Monday.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So it looks
anyway,
like you're taking care of your mental health
I am
issues.
taking care of my mental health
Better
issues.
than me. I am diagnosed and unmedicated.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think John likes Panal so much? It's how
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets his release.
You need a strong character to deal with mental
it's
issues.
medicated, just not pharmaceutically.
But he only practices with a
I wouldn't say no.
painal expert in the vicinity.
Yeah, Tim is a resident Panal expert, so if you so if you need some proper guidance, just hit up Tim Harrelson, Eagle River, Alaska. You can find him on Facebook. He's wearing a suit.
Next year's just gonna be like spouting my address.
It's 1116.
Wait, is it?
I don't know. It's not. I actually deliver to their house on a regular basis, and I can remember that it's not that. That's all I remember.
You don't remember what it is.
I just read the street name, and I'm just like, oh, it's Josh. Time to give him pizza.
What if someone else on their street orders pizza?
Well,
So
I'll get there. Josh will sign the pizza. I'll hand him
Sometimes I get free pizza.
Where the hell that pizza is?
And then he goes back to Josh, and he's like, "Yo, that pizza wasn't for you. Why'd you let me?"
Wait,
He's like, "Well, I paid you, didn't I?"
Why would you? Wait, you'd sign for a pizza that's not yours?
Well, I'd probably be hungry.
I mean, yeah, you're pretty skinny. I'd
You
believe that.
heard it here first. Josh is in fact a pizza thief, and he will buy your pizza off you for your money.
That's not really theft so much as just
Fraud?
Misappropriation.
I think fraud.
No, it's like misdemeanor fraud, maybe.
Oh yeah, Dave.
So tying this all back together, it's kind of interesting as someone that's been here from the beginning and constantly forgetting how old John is, because apparently he's 19. And I always think he's like 20 or something.
he looks
Yeah,
way older than
on
us.
a regular basis, I get 23 to 25, and it took the coffee shop I go to, Sleepy Dog, to about 8 months for them to all fully realize that I was not, in fact, 23.
Jesus, you're like.
I
2
honestly
years older
forgot
than
I went to school with you.
Yeah. Tim, for the longest time, thought I was a lot older than him, even though we were in the same grade and shared classes together.
Birdman.
I'm not the smartest man.
That's an old joke.
What's that a reference to? Please explain.
That is a reference to my freshman year in biology class. So in biology, we had some stairs that led down to that room, and I really don't like stairs. I like them even less at that point in
Whoa.
time. Yeah.
So it wasn't Mr. Mason then.
No.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Was it a female teacher?
Yeah.
I had the same one.
But yeah, so there were these 2 flights of stairs, and I really didn't like stairs, so I did everything to avoid them, but they were kind of the only route I had to take.
There's
So
no
I just kind of jumped down them, and they're starting to get a group of people, and I thought they were just kind of joking around at first, but it came to the point, every single day, without fail, they would be there right before I did, so they could see me fly down these stairs, and I earned the nickname completely seriously, and not actually as, like, dissing me of Birdman.
Yep. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Harvey Birdman.
And then after watching John fly down the stairs, in my biology class, I once tripped over a cord for a projector, and then everyone started calling me the king of destruction.
So we have,
I'm not necessarily seeing the correlation here, except for the fact you guys had some bad nicknames in high school.
Hey, I'm Picnic
Basically.
Boy, so.
actually, I think my best nickname in high school was Mango, and I recently, like about 2 months ago, had somebody call me that for the first time in 3 or 4 years.
But this all ties back and is like, when you started going to game night a few years back, both of you. Well, I mean, James, you're kind of newer in that sense, but you did come a few times before. And how do you guys feel that we'll start with you, James, and then we'll go to John. How do you guys feel that you've really grown, like, from starting out like cute little, like, I'm 16, I'm 16,
Yeah.
showing up at game night for the first time, hanging out with all these, like, we just got out of high school, now we're college kids. It's the old West around here. How do you guys feel like you guys have grown and the situation?
First, does he in fact have a terrible asshole?
It's the other way around. He just rams it in us.
Us,
D&D.
Us, huh?
Yeah, no, the situation we end up in,
Same time.
not good.
D&D is basically Panal without any lube.
Yeah. Oh.
That's most Panal, I'd imagine.
It's just a mass orgy all the time.
Anyway, for me, I'd say actually, when we had our very first game night, was that your guys' senior year or the year after?
No, we had already graduated.
All right, that's what I thought.
We had already started college at that point.
Yeah, because it was the year of every 15 minutes. Or
Because I hadn't started college yet, because I didn't start till spring semester. But
You're
yeah,
so stupid.
Yeah. So actually, the main reason I came is I met Dave while we were doing an every 15-minute thing. We were kind of we died buddies. We played pool all night.
Yeah, we
while we
did.
were dead.
we
And
didn't get any sleep.
Those were
ready in
hilarious.
October, I saw this little thing that Dave posted. It was like, hey, who wants to come play games at the bookshelf? So I came down to the bookshelf and we played games. And I think in this group specifically, it hasn't really molded me too much. But as a person, I do think I've grown quite a bit and am more me.
I think he doesn't want to admit how he's been changed by Game Night.
James.
So when I first came to Game Night, right, my sister, who no longer comes to Game Night, and for some reason cites this podcast, not this particular podcast, but the podcast in general is the reason she doesn't come to Game Night, which is weird anyway. She was coming to Game Night on the regular, and in my case, it was kind of I was like a little 16-year-old brat, and it was kind of oh, me too, I want to be there. It sounds like a fun thing to do, so I kind of pushed my mom into letting me come here because I was terrible and
You're like, let me out of the house. I don't want to be cooped up here with my thoughts.
Yeah, my thoughts not fun. Anyway, so I started coming here, and I have the feeling that people kind of tolerated me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially at first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But you've definitely grown.
Yeah.
Like a tumor.
Just about.
I heard that song.
Yeah, I was kind of a terrible person. Anyway, so I for a while I was like that, and then I left for 5 months for the Alaska Military Youth Academy, which is a great program, by the way. It's run by the Alaska Department of Alaska. No, I'm not in top shape. I'm still in shitty shape. I'm going to need to get into better shape, but I became a slightly better person through that, and and now pretty much run like part of the podcast. It's me and Kyle, pretty much. Not Kyle. Jesus, Danny.
Yeah, fuck Kyle again.
Today, Kyle, by the way.
Losing all our stuff.
Danny, you're
Fuck Kyle.
Hey.
Slavery.
Yeah, you say it, Kyle.
We love you.
I don't think. Did they hear that?
Oh yeah, they definitely heard that. All right, so let's we'll
basically
that
it's
subject. We'll go,
Basically, the podcast is
So I'm gonna shift gears here a little
All
bit, because this is Tim and Josh's first time on any sort of podcast. I want you guys. We'll start with you, Josh. How did you feel when you first came to Game Night? Those like first couple times when you guys first found out that you knew everyone here, and you're like, "What the hell? Why did no one invite us?"
That was modern art.
Yeah, modern.
I was
art.
very confused.
It was very confusing because it was game night, but they were stacking a bunch of chairs and tables in the middle of the room with some people kind of wedged in between all of the furniture. I'm not quite sure what was happening.
Was that your first?
Yeah,
that was a long time
we
ago.
did modern art was also their
That
very
was
first.
their first. Wow,
They came on a very
thought that
strange
they
game
were-
night.
I thought that they had been here longer than.
No, you were here before us.
They just had their 1
Year
year
and a
like a
month.
while ago.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We're just like some of the only people who stay here like the entire time, like almost every time.
Yeah.
How about you, Tim? I mean, we know that Josh was very concerned about why we were stacking tables, but you guys both ran with it.
I went in France, but I'm sure that's not saying. I don't even know
It's
anymore.
win in Rome.
Yeah.
Win in France. Well, I mean,
I'm
you're
in close
on the
enough,
continent.
right?
You're on the right continent.
Right? Hey, when in France, do as the Romans do.
Conquer, kill the Gauls. You know.
I'm sure that isn't
Oh,
that what
there
Germans
we
did?
go.
No, that's definitely what the Romans did.
Oh, it was really confusing because I didn't even know about Game Night for a while, and then we had one of our mutual friends, Koa. We met him through like a tournament for a game just online, and we didn't even know him at the time, but he was in one of our classes and messaged us, and we're like, oh shit, we actually know you already. So then we got around to talking, and we decided to go out and like grab some food, and so Koa drove us to like Taco Bell, and we got some food, and then he was like, yo, Game Night's going on right now, and we're like, we don't know what that is.
What's game
So
night?
we went there
What
just
is
because
Game
Koa knew
Night?
everybody. We're like, might as well meet some new people. We walk in and realize I literally know at least half of the people in the room. And I was like, God damn it. I've been left time.
All my friends hate me.
It was pretty funny.
I think I remember seeing the look on your face of you're like pointing people out.
You? Why are you all here? Why do you all...
Why did none of you tell me about this?
It was just like the randomest thing because John sitting in the middle of modern art. I just kind of walk up and I'm like, yo,
no,
what's
it
up,
would've
John?
been, Dave was sitting in the modern art, and I was stacking chairs around him.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
I think I was wearing a wizard hat at that point.
Yes, you would have been.
Yeah,
Maybe no.
because the challenge at that point was you had to stack things around me without touching me with anything.
That's what it was.
So I was standing very still, and you only ever made up to like almost my chest and stuff. You got lost.
It was honestly a great experience. I think we've only had 2 modern arts so far.
3.
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
I don't think the third one lasted very long.
No,
though.
it was
Yeah, it
only-
didn't last too long.
Were the other 2 while I was at AMIA?
I know at least
Probably.
one was.
Yeah,
I know
because
one
I only
was.
remember one.
Yeah.
I think one of them was when you just weren't here one week.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that happens.
So, John, do you remember what your good ideas were from yesterday that you wanted to talk to the good people about?
So I've thought back, and the closest I can get to any of those ideas was cotton wire. And that's about it.
Okay, well,
So,
that's a pretty good topic, actually.
I'd like.
Oh.
Yeah, James, you go ahead.
I'll handle this one. So cotton wire. We were at Walmart at one point. Why were we at Walmart?
Because we
were
were
getting
getting
ready for
supplies. Yeah, we were getting
Right,
Valentine's
for the
Day. No,
banner.
we were gonna make the banner for Game Night, the Game Night
banners,
flag,
which
it's
still
in
doesn't
production.
Yes.
No, it's not. It does. It's in development hell. Anyway, so the Game Night banner, which continues to not exist, and we were in the crafts aisle and at Walmart, and John was looking at some stuff, and he turned and asked us. It was me and a couple other people and I. Sorry, were standing in the vicinity, and he turned and asked us, "Where is that?" It's
like the metal stuff, but it's
it's like cotton wire and like twine, ribbon.
no.
You guys didn't get that close at all.
No,
It was about
we're
5
cotton wire,
minutes.
and we're sitting there trying to think, like, is he talking like copper wire and just really wants to like wrap it with something? It took us like a full 20 minutes to figure out
And
he meant
I just,
string.
I turned around and I'm like, guys, string.
At that point, we were pretty much leaving, I
Yeah,
think.
everybody completely forgot, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The cotton wire. It's string."
No, I thought we.
No, we
No.
didn't
Figured
figure
it
it
out
out. It
before
took
that.
nobody figured it out until it was like the end. And John's
We
like,
overestimate our communication skills.
So basically, a more expanded story of that from why it happened for me, especially was
It's because John doesn't know English.
well, the reason behind why I don't know English more of. So back when I was a child, I actually didn't speak until I was 3, and I was really bad at English and selectively mute until I was about 7, and they started putting me through speech therapy, and when I was about 10 or 11 years old, they actually, quote-unquote, passed me off the grounds they were really just completely done with me. So I was never able to fully do those things. So, like, now, like, even if I try and, like, learn a second language, it becomes hard, because my whole thought process is, what's the word that matches what I'm looking for? And it's the very first word that I think of is what's come out of my mouth. So when I was learning,
is this very difficult when you're experiencing Panal?
even more so.
He's speechless.
But yeah, so like when I was learning Japanese or Old Nordic and stuff like that, there was a lot of people were having a lot of hard times understanding me because I'd just be like, da 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 da, random word in Japanese, da da da, random word in Nordic, random word in Japanese, da 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 da, and it was
Da, da,
just
da, da, da.
overall terrible.
He just is da 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 da.
Yeah, I was
Not
about
an
to ask,
abstraction.
is it that you didn't know the word, or the fact that they thought you were singing da 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 at them? And you were like, I don't know this song, John. Why do you keep singing at me?
Da 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 Japanese.
Da 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 da, Japanese word, Ichigo.
Yeah, so it's this constant thing where I'm trying to describe words with random semi-attributed words that don't actually work for the situation.
So Tim, this is a little bit of a deviation here. You are a resident Panal PhD. You're going through a lot right now. I know that your thesis is coming up, but have you ever thought about expanding your horizon beyond Panal to include things like teeth, unlike blowjobs and things like that, or like biting too hard, or just generally torturing people,
Or
like
just knives.
BDSM stuff, or are you strictly into Panal?
Straight up knives.
I don't have that much money to put myself through that much school, so just 19 years is enough.
19 years.
Currently, what is your debt? Just so we know, for the record.
Of shame or money?
We're not going to
Whichever
cover
one's
shame yet.
less.
Oh, less?
Yes.
So I'm in a couple $1 million. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Well, at this
How
point,
much-
why is BDSM so much more expensive than Panal? And I guess a follow-up question to that is, what do you plan to do, Degrader? Do you plan to go work for Pornhub?
Nah, it's about that, ex-hamster.
Okay. So you yes, right, you do support LGBT rights, so that makes sense.
I think almost everybody at Game Night does.
Yeah.
If not everybody.
And the reason BDSM is more expensive is because you got to invest in the whips and the chains and the handcuffs.
Well, yeah,
and all that
but
stuff.
you could also hire one.
Yes, Josh?
I was just going to throw out an obligatory, like, all gay people die. And then, just kidding, but then John pressured me into talking, so I said it anyway.
All people die, not just gay people.
So Josh, what about you? I mean, you currently live with Tim. Is it difficult hearing the screams at night of him or his partners?
Not really. All the rooms are connected, so the screams kind of just hit everyone. Like,
have you ever had to tell Tim to calm down or like turn down the volume with his partner because he was just keeping the whole house up?
Well, you think that we, don't want to hear loud noises. You've got that completely wrong. We enjoy it.
Oh, so is it like a family night where everyone just gathers around and eats popcorn while there's screaming going on downstairs?
Is it time to tell him my partner's a computer?
No,
Not so
that's
much.
the other half. That's it. We know you do have physical human partners, and we do know that you have a special robot designed just to test out your thesis.
Those are secrets.
Oh,
Not
you just
anymore.
said it was a computer.
It's not secrets anymore.
So, but Josh, do you think you'd ever be willing to invite like John over to enjoy your like family get together, listening to Tim's Panal thesis?
We don't really listen to it for entertainment. It's more when we're trying to fall asleep. It's a nice lullaby.
Kind of like white noise.
So if John wants to sleep over, I'm sure it'll help him fall asleep.
To publicly decline that right now.
Whenever you feel like it, it's fine. I support you.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the words.
I guess next question. This kind of goes out to all of you. Do you guys think that you would ever be interested in pursuing a field like Panal or like just BDSM or anything that could potentially be just a little bit more on the darker side of the sexual kinks? And would you be willing to work with Tim in the future? And Tim, would you be willing to work with them? We'll start with you, John. You seem to have the best facial expression right now.
Well, I'd like to first answer this question with another question of, does getting high and or drunk and then having sex count?
No.
Not necessarily. If you're just having vanilla sex and then you're just
But
having
getting
vanilla
high
sex.
and or drunk and
You
then
see,
having Panal, that counts.
My darker side is about as dark as my skin color.
Well, your darkest side is
That's because
almost blindingly dark.
But I just want to point out here, like Tim is very white, and I get his analogy.
Very white.
But the only reason he's that white is because he suffered so much Panal. Is like a ghost. Is literally to suck the life out of him.
The melanin.
19 years is and millions of dollars in debt will do that to anyone.
The melanin evaporated from the pain.
All the blood is being drawn towards his rectum.
That's how it heals. Oh, that makes sense.
Ah.
But no, going back, would you be willing to work with Tim in the future? Would you pursue something like this?
If I did, I would definitely like Tim to be my right-hand man for it.
What about your left-hand man? Would Josh fit?
You need one hand to stroke him.
Yeah.
So the reach around?
Do we have to calculate the mean jerk
Gotta have
times?
the reach around.
Yeah,
We can do this.
We do have to
Yes.
calculate the mean jerk times. So, and I guess let's go to Josh first. Josh, would you be willing to study these things with Tim or go deeper?
Never.
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 Is it because you live with Tim and you already know everything, or is it
I
just-
don't want to know how he's creating those screams. I enjoy them. It helps me fall asleep. I don't want to know how he's doing it.
Have you not read
like
his
the
thesis?
mystery.
No. I don't want to disturb the mystery.
There we go.
How about you, James? Would you be willing to?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going into the military. and
That was not part
I
of
think,
this.
I think it's still against the UCMJ, so I can't really partake.
No, this
No
will be
longer is.
beforehand.
No, before that, no.
And you have the resident expert here who's
I
saying it's no
value-
longer part of it. You are good.
I value the integrity of my anus.
Hey, you just need more
Anyway,
lube.
We're starting to run short on time, so it looks like we have one topic left.
Yeah, and actually this still really ties really into Josh's family here, and it's an article that we found on WikiHow of
Oh, God.
how to practice nudity in your family. And I mean, you guys obviously like lull yourselves to sleep, but would you guys be willing to like just kind of like laissez-faire with your clothes, listen to Tim scream in the background, and just go to sleep, or just hang out and watch movies?
Excuse me. Laissez-faire.
Yeah,
Laissez-faire.
whatever.
Basically-
Yeah,
Lizzie is fair.
Tim's body's in high demand, and everyone else just rushes to him, and that's how the market is sustained.
Where did I go wrong in life?
when you went millions of dollars in debt into something you should have been doing for free.
Oh, but would you like any tips to start practicing nudity in this household of Panal?
Okay, the first most important tip is to
$1 million
get them while they're young.
No, actually, according to our article, the
article is
very
wrong.
first step-
The article is wrong.
He's practicing.
Are you actually our resident expert on this?
Are you our nudity expert?
I am your resident armchair expert.
Huh.
Nudity, not armchairs.
Both.
What's the difference?
I think we're all confused at this point in time.
Very.
Have you ever heard the term armchair expert?
No.
Oh,
Please
I'm on the
define
same-
it.
so
I'm on the same
basically, you're sitting at home in your armchair, and you're on the internet, and you are giving your opinions on many different topics because you are a so-called expert in each topic. But you're really not. You're just an armchair expert.
Unlike Tim, who is an actual expert.
Who sits in an armchair while they're on the internet? Like, if you have your desk and then an armchair, you'd be way too low and far back. just
Laptops, my friend.
ergonomically. A laptop, maybe, but if you have if you have your laptop on your desk,
See, when you're an armchair expert, you're actually so in tune with the knowledge of how the world works that you are able to make this work seamlessly.
Are you also able to ignore every dissenting opinion?
Basically, but it seems like John is already an armchair expert on armchair experts.
I actually,
with that
that's
wonderful
the one
explanation.
thing I have any expertise in excluding getting high.
I think you'll find he's a folding chair expert.
But John, would you please read us the first point in the article, just for the viewers?
All right, so our first point in the article, actually, I'm going to read through them all.
Get a
real quick.
grapefruit.
We got first step is to just explore family nudity without feeling it's abnormal at all. The next step is to keep nudity a natural thing that just happens at your house. 'Cause, that's just how it works.
You need to helicopter
Some
your
people,
dick.
they have dinner with their
Helicopter your
family.
dick.
Others, they're just all naked in the living room.
Wait.
Yeah.
I think, Tim, you need to say that again
Yeah,
louder.
no. That's how you make it natural. When you need to helicopter your dick, you just helicopter your dick.
You heard it here first. Our resident PhD in Panal, Tim Harrelson, Eagle River, Alaska. Look him up, ladies.
Anyway, our middle step is to start early with your family. Like when you're getting a kid, you should make it seem like it's a normal thing to do. Which every time that I read that or say that, it makes me feel like I become worse of a human being.
You're already the worst.
John, we don't judge people at game night.
Anyway, the next step is to celebrate the differences of who you, your partner, and your children are. And the final step, which makes me feel a little bit better about the third step, is to avoid sexual expressions around the young one.
Until you can get them.
So, I'd like to ask. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think this podcast just became illegal in several states.
Yeah, so I would like to. James.
So
first.
I know it's
So
on
keep it
WikiHow,
secret.
right?
Keep
And I
it
know
safe.
that and I haven't seen it, but I know that many WikiHow articles have some pretty ridiculous art attached to them. Could you tell? And I haven't seen it for this one because I haven't seen the article. But could you describe the image that WikiHow has graced us with for this particular article?
I'm gonna decline to do that.
Will you
and-
give me the phone so I can do that?
No. Anyway, just for legal sakes, we'll say we do not condone in any form of child things.
No,
like
we
that.
definitely don't.
Anyway,
We don't even condone children.
Any better way that we can end this off of them?
No, we have to get Josh's opinion on this.
Oh, Josh.
Final remarks, all of us. Family nudity.
Other than getting them young?
Other than that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's my one.
Okay. So, other than doing it young, don't do it young.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Tim,
don't do
your
it.
final words on painal and or family nudity.
Or
both.
painal.
And
family
helicoptering your dick.
Help me, they kidnap me. Call the police.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's our resident PhD in Panal, Tim Harrelson, Eagle River.
I don't want to die.
Look him up, ladies.
No.
Anyway, Dave, your final thoughts on this matter?
Family nudity, I guess, is a very important topic if you are a nudist. If you're not, just keep it clean, keep it safe. Practice painal only with willing partners. And if your name is John, just get high beforehand. You'll be all right.
And just helicopter your dick.
And finally, James, your final remarks on, we'll just say this whole podcast. Honestly
Anyway, so
saying.
my final remarks on this podcast is basically the same as my remarks on Panal. Harder is not a good safe word. It's a bad safe word.
My final thoughts on this is just don't practice family nudity.
Don't
like,
take-
you do you.
Don't-
unless you do that.
Basically, don't do anything that we say you should do, and don't do anything we say you
Especially
shouldn't.
not me.
All right, and bring it to Dave for last one time. One last time.
And this has been our Game Night After Dark podcast. I've been one of your hosts, Dave Donnelly, and we'd all like to say good night, everybody. Goodbye.